right, here's what we're making today. The divided basket by Noodlehead. You have two huge pockets here on the front. You could add them on the back if you wanted. I didn't. And then on the inside you have two divided areas that nothing's going in between because it's sewn all the way around. And then you have two nice sturdy handles. Look at this. Look how big it is. I used Bosal foam. You could easily get away with fleece or a little different foam. Bosal foam is pretty dense, and I left it in the seam allowance except for on the top. Oh my gosh, it is so cute. And I did 2 rows of stitches around the top. And then I did 2 rows of stitches around the pocket top too. Go get the pattern. Let's get started. Hi everyone, this is Barbie with Jeannie's Designs. And I'm getting ready to do a new pattern for me. This pattern was released, now that I'm here with you, in, looks like 2019. It's the Divided Basket by Noodlehead. So before you use this clip, you'll see the finished product. So it's a structured basket with a divided lining. I think it's a pretty quick sew. We'll see. So I'm gonna go over the pieces real quick. The divided basket divider I am doing out of, all of it is gonna be out of Luxe Nylon or Theratex. I think it's all Theratex. So here's the 2 pieces. I did cut out a piece of Luxe Fuse out of the seam allowance that I think I'm gonna use. I haven't made that decision yet. This is really made for quilting cotton, so we'll see how the Luxe Nylon goes. The fabric covered handles, I'm gonna use this pink, and I'm just gonna use some black webbing to use those to cover it. The lining is 4 pieces. 2 are, and I cut these all wrong, so I'm gonna have to go fix that, but they are mirrored. So it should be half this size. I don't know what I was thinking, but here it is. So 2 of these, but cut in half. 4 pieces mirrored. I don't know what I was thinking. The divided front pocket, there's a front pocket that you could put either 1 or 2. I'm just gonna do 1. So the outside is gonna be this, and the lining is gonna be the pink. Very cute. I am going to be using Bosal foam, and I'm probably going to be cutting it out of the seam allowance. I'm going to use my Bernina to do this. I haven't quite decided, but I think I'm going to cut it out of the seam allowance. And then the main exterior is going to be the checkered. And that's it. There's no hardware, any of that. So let's get started. I'm using a 9014 needle, and I'm using some pink thread. That's it. Let's get started. All right, so for my divider pockets, I decided not to use any Luxe Fuse. She doesn't call for anything like that, and this is heavier than a quilting cotton, so I decided not to put any interfacing in here. We'll see. You know, I'll probably make another one, and we'll see how it goes. So we're gonna put those right sides together. Make sure when you cut your little corners out, you have a little dot there, so you know where to sew, and change that when you get to that time. I'm gonna decrease my stitch length. Most of her seam allowance is the same throughout the pattern. The seam allowance, just keep that in mind. Now we're going to fold these right sides together. If you're using cotton, I would definitely iron it. I am not using cotton. I could iron this, but it doesn't really iron very well, so I'm not going to worry about it. And now we're going to top stitch across the top and then across the sides. Sorry, I just realized that was in the photo. No, no good, no good, Barb. Okay. So let me just double check. Oh yeah, we're going to do 2 rows of stitches here. That's right. So one is going to be an 1/8. And then another one. You can do whatever you choose to here. I think it's nice to have 2 rows of stitches, but you certainly don't have to. And then I'm just going to move my needle over so I can get nice and, oops. Yeah, this, my machine doesn't like this, fabric, the Theratex. Isn't that funny? I like it. I put a brand new needle in here too. We'll see. I mean, it's stitching okay. It just doesn't like it. It's making a lot of noise, I should say. I shouldn't say it doesn't like it. It just is noisy. Beautiful. Okay, now we're just going to stitch down these sides. Oops, I don't want that. All right, we are going to baste along the bottom as well. Okay. Just going to clean up all my stitches. I do miss not being able to burn because this is cotton thread. I shouldn't say it's cotton, but it's not polyester, so you really can't burn these ends. All right, so there's your divider pocket. Cute. The other thing I did do is I did add my foam to these large pieces, and I just basted them in place. I did cut off the top so that when I go to do the top, it's not quite as bulky. So the foam is on both of these pieces, with the exception of down from the top. Okay. Now we're going to take our lining, our 2 lining pieces, and we are going to sew down right sides together, down this side and across the bottom. at the seam allowance in the pattern. See if we stitch like this. So just to be clear, it's this short edge and the bottom. We're not sewing in here, and we're not sewing the top or that long side. Okay, then we are going to box these corners, and I am just going to nestle my seam. Actually, I think she wants you to do the seams open because it can get kind of bulky. So I'm just going to push my seams open. Yeah, that's probably better anyway. Okay, and then box your corner, seam allowance in the pattern. Okay, so that's what you should have. All right, we're going to repeat that with the other lining piece. And these are reversed, so just keep that in mind. This short edge we're going to sew. And then across the bottom. And then we'll box this corner as well. Matching those seams. And again, if you have material that you could iron, I would definitely iron it. Okay. All right, next step. All right, so take the raw edge of your divider pocket, and we are going to match and mark your center on that raw edge, and we're going to match that raw edge center to the bottom of one of our divider or lining pockets, and clip that in place across the bottom. Okay, just like that. So here's one of the pieces we just did. You're going to lift it up and center your divider pocket on this center piece. Now, we are going to just start somewhere on the bottom, and it doesn't really have to be in the center. And do one side, and then we'll do the other. But when we get to this part, we're just going to cut 3/8 inch up, okay, right here. So I just cut that right there. And that dot, we are going to turn and pivot. Very ingenious how she does this. And so now the divider pocket is on this side. I'll show you. Okay, so there's where we pivoted. And so the divider pocket is attached there. And we're going to repeat that on this side. I personally think, after kind of reading through the pattern, that it's easier to clip that now. Make that turn and clip it. And then I can sew from the top. We'll see if it's easier. The one thing is, keep in mind, it's the divider pocket doesn't go all the way to the top of this piece. The thing you do want to make sure is that it's equal. It's pretty equal. Okay, let's do it. Okay, and pay attention to where your little pivot line is. And then just go back to where you started on the other side. And that's all there is to it. So now, you see, you have half of your divider on interior lining. Cute as a bug in a rug. I love it. All right, next. All right, so now we're going to take our other lining piece. We're going to lift up this center right here, and we're going to attach it again to that divider pocket center. Clip that in place, and we're gonna again clip at that spot on this side. Okay, so I've got my bottom clipped. Here's the one we just finished. It's a hot mess right now, don't worry. So clip right here. There's a thread there. It's going to be our pivot point. So I'm going to clip on both sides. And then I am just going to go ahead and clip this in place. Now this time the top should come up, the lining pieces should match. Okay, so just like that. So these are the two lining pieces, they match at the top. And then repeat that on the other side. This is so cute. When I first read through this pattern, I thought, very interesting. Let's sew that all the way around. Can get kind of thick here. I'm glad I didn't use the Lux juice. Doesn't need it. Make sure everything underneath is out of your way and not getting caught. Okay, we're almost done with the lining. That's how fast this is. I was a little worried to do it on my industrials because I thought it'd be too thin, but I think it's not too thin at all. It'll be fine. Okay, now you have your lining with your divider pocket. Isn't that cute? All right, next step. All right, so now we're gonna do our pocket. So these are my 2 pocket pieces. I'm gonna put them right sides together. And we're gonna sew them across the top at the seam allowance in the pattern. I don't know why one is longer. I think it's just the way Barbie cut them out. There we go. Okay. Okay, then we're going to turn those over. If you can iron them, I would. I am going to get them nice. I could iron this. Let me go iron it. Hold on. Okay. This, you know, bonded nylon or Theratex does iron a little. So it doesn't iron like a cotton would, but it's fine. So we're just putting those wrong sides together and we're going to top stitch along the top. And I'll probably do 2 rows of top stitching. Increase my stitch length. Okay, let's do another row. Yeah. Okay. Cute. Cute, cute, cute. All right, so there you have your 2 rows of top stitching. Now we're going to add that to one of our external sides, just like this. And I'm just going to make sure that I'm pretty even. I tried to get my squares pretty straight. So we're going to base that on the sides and the bottom. Okay. I'm just going to make sure this is nice and it's not puckering anywhere. Perfect. Hold on. All right, let's put it in place. Funny because this needle and machine doesn't really like this Theratex. It's making a lot of noise. It's sewing it beautifully, but you can hear it. It's funny. I just oiled my machine, so it doesn't need oil. And I have a big needle. Okay. Now is when you need to decide. I'm going to put my tag up here. I got to go get one. Hold on. All right, I put my tag on up here. And I am going to divide my pocket down the middle. Let me grab my marking pen. This is a really big it's a really big pocket, so I'm just going to divide it down the middle. I have my middles marked on the top and the bottom. Okay. And let's just start from the bottom. So there we have two nice, they're huge, really, pockets. Now, we do want to draw a line here, an inch. I'm going to have to get a different ruler. Let me see. An inch above where it ends here. So from here up an inch. That is going to prevent the pocket, anything that goes in the pocket, from going down into the bottom, because this is the bottom of the bag over here. This is the bottom. I know it's hard to see. I don't have much table space here. All right. So I'm just going to try and make that as nice and even as I can. I'll show you. So an inch above this edge here, because this is the bottom of the bag. So anything we put in the pockets, we don't want going down. So I'm just going to do a nice row of stitches there. Okay. Beautiful. All right, next step. All right, now we're going to put both of our exteriors together. And I don't think I would definitely mark your centers on both of these. I did it on the other one. I just need to do it on this one. And then we're going to sew down the sides and across the bottom and box our corners. It's a very quick sew. Right sides together, matching your centers. You know what, before I do that, I need to trim this side. Got a little excess foam. Perfect. This is such a cute little basket. This is going to be thick, so I'm going to see how my Bernina handles it. I may need to go over to my fabricator. We'll see. Let's see how she does. So she's gone through 4 layers of, she's not doing too bad. I think she likes it, but we'll see. I'm going to move over to my fabricator. All right, this is going to be so much better. The layers of foam were just too much for Nina. Bosal foam is pretty dense. That's part of the reason. It's a very dense foam. Otherwise, by Annie's probably would have been okay. But I prefer this. We'll finish the bag up over here on the fabricator. Now, if you're going to use a domestic, just use a thinner foam or a fleece, and it would be fine. This is just this. I love this Bosal foam, but it's thick. All right, let's box these corners. So I'm just gonna nestle these corners or these seams. Let's box that other corner. And whatever way you turned this seam, just make sure you do it on this side the same. I'm going to trim these. They're kind of bulky down here, so I'm going to just trim these seams because I left my foam in there. So I'm just going to trim the box corner seams. There we go. All right, next step. All right, so I turned it right side out. Isn't that gonna be so cute? Look at that. All right, now we're gonna make the fabric covered straps. These are gonna be cute. So I'm just drawing a 1/2 inch line on each long side of my fabric piece. Actually, I think I'm going to use my other mark. Yeah. So 1/2 inch on each long side. And then we're going to use some double-sided tape. on this top edge, because we're going to fold these over to get a nice clean edge. I'm using 1/4 inch. You could definitely use 1/8 inch. I probably should have, but it's all right. And then I'm using some webbing that I've had forever. It's not seatbelt webbing, but I don't even know what it is, but it's nice and thick. It's just a little different kind of webbing. It'll be perfect for this. All right, I am gonna burn my ends here though. My bobbin is causing, hold on. I had wound a new bobbin over here and it was coming loose and thread was everywhere, so. All right, so take those pieces of tape off and we're just folding those over a 1/4 inch. It's a small, that's why 1/8 inch probably would have been plenty. So just like that on all 4 long edges. Just like that. You know, I think Noodlehead Patterns is another designer that I learn something new almost every time I do one of her patterns. She has some great techniques. Okay, now we are going to add that in here. And I think I'm going to use 1/2 inch tape to keep this in place. I'm just going to put that down the middle on both pieces. And then I am going to use 1/8 inch tape just along these long edges so that when I put that on, it'll stay where I want it to go until I sew it. Seems like a lot of tape. You could certainly use clips instead. You don't have to use all this tape. Or you could use glue. I'm like a 3rd grader when it comes to glue. I get it everywhere. All right, let's see how we're going to do this. So this, you just want to make sure this is nice and centered. So I'm debating, let me see. I got a piece of tape there. Okay, I'm just going to eyeball it. Okay, and then we're going to take the double-sided tape off here on the long edges. If I can get it to come off. And fold that over. Just like that. Oh, I love it. This is going to be so cute. The paper on Lux Fuse, or not Lux Fuse, but Vertex or bonded nylon doesn't like to stick or come off. Oh my gosh, you guys. Look at that. Isn't that cute? I know I'm easily pleased. All right, now I'm just going to sew down 1/8 of an inch from this internal edge. And I'm just going to come across and back in. Cute. And then we'll cut off our excess webbing. And if your webbing is the kind that frays, just burn the ends. And there you have your two-tone strap. Very cute. Let me do it on this side. Oh, it's so cute. All right, let's make sure I can get this straight. Pretty good. One of my subscribers taught me this. If you have trouble getting the paper off the tape, score it with the tweezers or a knife or a pen or something, and then you can get the paper right off. It works every time. Every time. I forget who it was, but thank you very much. All right, let's repeat that. Okay. Cut the excess. Burn your ends. Okay. Next step. All right, so do what she tells you in the pattern. From your seam over here, measure over on each side, and that's where we're going to attach our, on the outside of that mark. And I'm just going to paste that in place. I'm going to have to move over to Thor. I think I'm going to. Hold on. All right. I got Thor already. My lovely, beautiful Thor. And let's just baste these. And it's the right side down. I'll show you here in a second. And then I'm just going to come across. So here's the right side. It's down. Just make sure that when you put it on, you're not twisting it. I'm going to come over I'm actually surprised Thor's doing okay with this thin fabric. On top, it's thin. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right, so when you're done with the bag, it'll look like this on top. So cute. All right, let's do the other one. Let's find my marks here. Hold your threads. Oops. Get my little grabber. This thing is the best thing since sliced bread. Might be a sign I'm getting old if I'm having to use a grabber. It's disturbing, but that's okay. I'm grateful for every day. All right, let's do the other one. Pull it up. Make sure it's not twisted. Okay. All right, now what I'm gonna do, and I'll do it off camera because it'll be very tedious, is I'm gonna put tape all the way around and we're gonna fold it down by 1/2 inch. And I'm gonna do that on the lining and the outside. So I'll do that on off camera. All right, so I folded this down. You know, this is a drop-in lining. And so, you know, I know some people hate those. I don't particularly like them anymore either. But I don't know any other way to do it because of the divided pocket. Now here, I'm just clipping my corners so they stay. So on this one, I'm gonna do the exact same thing. Let me see where I started my tape. It's gonna be hard to see because I'm underneath here. I don't know any other way to do it. I'm trying to make sure that I'm getting it on top of my foam. So right there. And then it's nice and even. So I've gone around this corner. This will be on the inside. You have to really do it on a flat surface, otherwise I'd show you. I mean, you know, it's not hard to do. It's just a little tedious, really. There you go. That's it. That didn't take very long at all. So now you have your little handles. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. All right, now let's drop this baby in, and it doesn't matter which is right or left or front or back. We're gonna match up our centers over here on the sides. And you know what? I'm gonna use my bigger clips. This foam is so thick that it's especially on the corners. Probably don't need it anywhere else except on these sides where you have seams and you have foam. I don't have I only have this many of these big clips. I don't know how many that is. I don't know if it was 2 sets or what it was. I've had them for so long. And now let's just go all the way around. And if I did my seams correctly, everything should match perfectly. And it appears so far, knock on wood. And she suggests doing 2 rows of stitches around the top. And then we're going to be done. Oh my. Okay. Let's do it. You know what? I'm gonna take this off. So let me take this extended piece off. I'll be right back. With that divider pocket in there, it just made it a little challenging. All right, let's do an 1/8 to start. Let's see how we do. Yeah, see the divider pockets right there. So with that table, it would have been a challenge to do it. Cute. All right, let's make sure Thor does okay here. Okay, I am going to do another round. Wow, that looks pretty good. Looks good, Thor. Let's do another round at about an 1/8 from that. I'm just following my previous stitch line. Man, you guys, I know I rave about Thor, but it's amazing, actually. There we go. Do a little cleanup here. My gosh, guys, we're done. All right, let me turn you up. Hold on. All right, guys, the divided basket by Noodlehead. You guys, this is a quick sew. Once you figure out the lining and adding the divider pocket, it's a breeze. And it's not hard, it's easy. So you have your seams down there. Oh my gosh, I was just looking at my seams. And then you have two sections in there. This is a perfect diaper caddy too. I mean, do you need to use 1.5 inch? This is 1.5 inch webbing and with the fabric overlay. Do you have to do that? No. You could just use webbing, just plain webbing. That would make it even faster. But look at that. Two huge divider, and it's divided. There's nothing going under here. It's sewn. So whatever you put on each side is staying on each side. And then you have two huge pockets here. Oh my gosh. This is so cute. Go grab the pattern and make one. The divided basket by Noodlehead. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.